After a moment where our lives were on the line, we made our way back out of the manor house with minimal words and minimal interruption. It seemed that Ganglion had not returned or reformed for the moment at hand, and the dolls had fallen quiet. We passed through the kitchen, the zombies still working away at mouldering fruit and vegetables, and before long, we found ourselves in the dark, cramped storeroom, a moment of frantic activity where we initially revealed ourselves to the chefs in this place. As I stepped inside, Straga was already there. Maybe waiting, maybe just trying to catch his breath, find a moment of being able to breathe easy unobserved. And I couldn't help but feel like I was intruding. But still, I suppose a conversation needed to be had. It's, you had mentioned the other day that jaunts within the dungeon are not necessarily the done thing among the community, huh?
It's a dangerous thing.
Evidently.
Yes.
Evidently.
You never know what you're going to find. Now, normally it's not the dolls or Zon or skeletons or, anything like that. It's normal dangers. Rock falls.
Crevices in the ground.
Basamanders. Other creatures. It's what you normally find.
And, again, aside from having put our lives on the line today, I can't help but feel that we are making our way back with something important.
Knowledge?
Yeah. It's, I suppose you already know. Yeah, I've mentioned it in the letters and stuff before, but I didn't really think I knew really who I was. Well, I know who I am, I know what I am, but, I didn't really feel like I knew who I was. And I was excited to come and visit you and get to understand myself a little better. But I never imagined beyond my wildest dreams. I sat on the sack of flour and looked at my compatriot that I would get to know who I am, who we are in such detail. I'd never even heard of the word held in before.
I mean, me either. There's a lot of things going on. A lot of things lost. Nice to find some, but it leaves questions, thoughts, new fears, new hopes. Things like that.
And, I think that's normal, actually. I know you're not necessarily one for academia, but they do highlight that if you really want to confirm a truth and not just collect facts, you need it from more than one source, right? You hear an interesting story, a good rumor, you read a good book, but you don't really know if it's the truth of the matter until you think through your feelings and what you've read and ask some more questions. And, you seem to be the kind of person that's really open to asking new questions and feeling new things. And that's admirable, actually.
It comes with, I don't know. I feel like that's something that should be shared between everyone.
Yeah.
I think if people like Zon and their people took a little bit more time to think, instead of just acting within their power, they'd actually find better solutions. They wouldn't have been able to suffer as much as they did.
Not to say that you've changed the mood, but you've made me think about what she said again. That she can just own things. Baubles. I can't believe she thinks us as baubles. We are beautiful. I mean, I know that I'm a gem. But,
Yeah.
I'm no trinket. and definitely not to be touched by the likes of her.
Yeah. They're definitely someone whose personality has warped in order to survive. The obsession with strength. It blinds you, leads you down a path of less pain than you probably want to experience.
Actually, about that, if you don't mind my asking, you are, well, most. I'm finding out that most Golowins are taller than me, but you definitely are somebody who is strong, or at least stronger than me, but you seem to be really judicious about that. It's not really something you talk much about in your letters, but if you have the time, or at least want to take a moment to just sit and chat before we head back, is there a story behind why you're so careful with your strength?
It's... I thought about this for a second. Careful about my strength. I say out loud. It's less about being careful and more of just not knowing how to use it, or at least finding good applications for it. Being strong is one thing, but does it solve your problems?
I see.
It's polite of you not to ask. You probably have a lot of questions. So, obviously there's something I didn't tell you. But that's mostly just me trying to escape from it as well. I'm part Galoin, part Stroln. It's a complicated affair. The reason I don't know how to apply my strength is just I was never taught. It's not like Galoins know how to use it, and it's not like Strolns would ever take the time to teach. So while I'm stronger than a Galoin, I'm still weaker than a Stroln. So...
But surely as part of their community, they would take steps to, look after you. You mentioned your mother in the letters, and I think I got to see her very briefly when I arrived. We didn't get the chance to talk.
She is kind in only the ways a mother is kind. Beyond that, matters are a little bit more complicated. So, Gartrinus, I have a question for you.
Of course.
What am I to you?
Oh, I mean, you are... I want to say, and if you'll allow me to say it, one of my best friends. We've spoken so much and about nothing important sometimes. The fact that we've been able to send letters back and forth for months and not necessarily get into the more complicated parts of our lives and just enjoy being able to communicate with another person, even if we hadn't met each other, I think is important. Most of the people that I work with or see on my day-to-day are people who I work with, or are my educators, or are my fellow students. They don't take the time to talk about pointless and frivolous things.
Well, that isn't fully what I was asking, but honestly, that gives as much of an answer as I kind of wanted.
I mean...
I appreciate that, really.
I consider you just as much of a Heldin as I am. I suppose if we asked a abstract, conceptual human to go and draw a Golowin, their idea of what we are and what we do and what we look like and care about, they wouldn't really draw either of us.
Yeah. But that's different. That's asking an outside third party, which, to an extent, until a few days ago, that's what you were. Now, if you were to ask a Galoin, what do you think they'd say?
Well, I would hope that ultimately we know ourselves well enough that we're not just one thing. Yayo 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 and Netete and Batakanatata are all people who've been in the same community for a really long time, and they are as diverse as the seasons, as the sky. And they might not have necessarily ever vocalized that out loud because they've not had to think about it before, but I think they recognize that.
I think about that. In Gartrinus's letters, I always admired their open-mindedness, their academic thoughts, their experience. Honestly, being in human society has benefited them a lot. Benefited more than me being here. So I said, when you all had that argument, Etete looked at me and said along the lines of, you can't relate to all that, can you? All the struggles about the Galoins, and all that. I don't know Yayo or Arkat's opinions, but when we were all surrounded by those dead Stroln, I could only think of one thought. Will probably thought what I felt about my fellow Stroln being dead.
Yeah, I was concerned about that.
And the answer is, I feel the same about it as seeing a Galoin dead. There's no difference. Body, after all. Nothing of life. Now, while you may be very well educated, very open-minded, and it feels like common sense that I am who I am, doesn't matter. The majority of Galoin society would see me as an outsider, and the same with Strong. That's why I never learned anything. I don't have a shroud. I'm allowed in Galoin society, but that's only because I somewhat benefit the people. And sometimes I go over to the Strong camp and do work if they need me to. You know why I started writing you, Gartrinus?
You never did say.
I was hoping you'd see how shit it is here and you'd just leave. I don't think that now. But when you arrived, that's what I thought.
I won't lie to you, Straga. It is really hard here. You all go through so much physically and emotionally in a place where it's supposed to be your home. It's supposed to be that when you're traveling or experiencing new things in the wider world and things get difficult or you get lonely, you can return home and be safe and comfortable and welcomed. And I don't know how I feel that it's not something that you feel that you get to have, or that anybody in the settlement feels they get to have.
But I learned a few things.
Mm-hmm.
From reading those stories, experiencing what we did. Even if we leave here, something like this could happen again. It's probably happened before. Leaving won't solve my issues. Disconnecting myself from societies won't help me grow or find a home that I want. It's your experiences, the joy you see looking at Decolonize society and everything about it that makes me want to try. Our cat jumping on that creature, Yayo's thoughts and scurrying to just find every single thing that they can to just push us one step further to our goals. Reading our ancestors' books, it was enlightening in a lot of ways. Being one thing we talked about Gwal and Gwalik. You said that our ancestors found Gwalik in death.
Well, maybe that's one way to look at it, but I think more what I understood was they worked really hard to find what Gwalik meant to them, and upon learning that, they were satisfied that their story had concluded. It's not that death is a joy, it brings sadness to the people you leave behind, but maybe there's something satisfying in realizing that they had truly understood themselves. I got off the flour sacks, moved round, and took Straga by the upper two hands. I think, well, all we can just do is try to understand ourselves the best we can. Whether that is for joy or for ill, I think that learning more about ourselves and the world is what really matters.
That's what I was thinking as well. I think true Wallach is chasing Wall, chasing the next happy moment, and when that fades, chasing next. That itself is a story.
You're going to have to be careful with that particular wording, Straga. I know a handful of people that would consider Gemwal as a way of chasing Gwal from one moment to the next, and I know that's not what you mean.
Yeah. I laughed a little. Not something I do often, but felt appropriate in a small room, a small world. That was only us right now.
Well, I think I shall make you a shroud, if you want one, or at least something that I think suits you. We don't have to call it a shroud. We don't have to call it, Oh, actually, I don't know. Is there a strong word for your style of dress? Or the strong style of dress?
It's called a Zutra. Typically, a lot of Strons wear battle-ready gear. Obviously, this is a lot of hand-me-down stuff, but that's what it's called. And if you want to make me a shroud, I'd be more than willing to wear it.
Oh, that's great. Oh goodness. I rummaged around in my cloak and pulled out a small, neat notebook, hand-bound. Flipped open to an empty page and pulled out a pencil. I'm sure Straga could have seen some of the incredibly elaborate designs in there. Ball gown dresses, immense capes. I started to sketch. Well, I always work best when I get my most elaborate, impossible ideas out first, although I could tell that some of those concepts were maybe a little intimidating as a first blush of a clothing. Oh yes, I think this is an excellent start. Are you coming, or do you want some additional time?
I'll come with you in a second.
Sure thing. Oh, this is going to be a lot of fun.
As Gartrinus left, I sat there, thinking about everything, thinking about how nice it was to be so open, and how much things, even though this short time, has changed. I just found myself smiling to myself a little bit more, as I don't feel as alone anymore.
Oh, stars.
Sorry, I wasn't. I felt myself staring. It felt pointless to lie about something again. I was listening in. Sorry.
You're all so incorrigible.
I'm sorry. Let's go. We went together, moving back and giving him a little bit more time. As we sort of stumbled our way out and found ourselves heading through that ditch again, as I saw and noticed how, in the distance, the others had started hauling things as they went, and we found ourselves a bit more forward. As we wandered our way back out, I gazed across the way and saw the others had already been gathering and stacking bits of loot, besides the one piece that we needed to go grab later, which was the pile of bags that were left over somewhere back into the dungeon, wherever they had popped up. It come through, and I moved forward and quickly grabbed the rope that had been on earth for us and started sliding down with Gartrinus.
Ah, you forgot the magic words.
What?
Tally-ho!
Oh, yeah, okay. Hey, can you drop another rope, please? Okay, hang on. Okay, give me a hand with this.
Yep, sure. So yeah, it's, I don't know, it's just like I was saying, it was kind of incredible. Like, you just... what instinct made you like jump on her? Like, let's just jump on her.
You jumped on her?
Yeah, she just jumped on her.
Yeah, it was absolutely wild.
She's big. How do you do that?
I guess in the moment I realized that we wouldn't be able to run away from her.
What in the moment? I move over and I start squeezing her cheeks. What moment could call out that? What? How? Like, that's like you see the Bassamander open its mouth and you jump in and you start punching it on the inside type of thing. That's like a level of bravery. I don't get it. How? Squeeze.
I mean, I think I could understand.
What?
I just felt the urge to stick my hand in the Bassamander. I thought it was like that.
You're
Less
an
bravery, more
exception.
curiosity. What do you mean? What do you mean I'm an
I don't
exception?
I don't think it's the same thing.
How?
The soul of a warrior at work, I suppose, just interpreted in different ways.
I don't get. I was ready to. Honestly, my plan was to just take the 24 hours, run away, and then poison her.
Oh.
I mean, she like eats and drinks a lot. It'd be really easy.
Yeah, what was that,
That
by the
would've-
way?
You know.
I know that you have the soul of a businesswoman burning inside you, but you did go and put all of our lives on the line on the snap decision.
Yeah, I thought we'd be able to make it to the fireplace, to be honest.
No, and instead you went bald.
That did happen.
The reason I jumped on her is because I didn't know your plan.
What? What?
Listen, it's just... wait, hold on. I stop and turn and I look over at Melanias. This actually... Wait, that actually... You got... I went bald, but you got stabbed in the head. Are you, like, okay?
I think so. I don't feel too much different. I suppose the place the rapier striked was probably already... I don't know.
We can look through the intermediate necromancy tomes to, like... I don't know, see if there's anything that...
got him here.
Yeah, that might be able to help you out.
Maybe.
And I took a closer look at her hair, being reminded of something that I was thinking about earlier. Is it like... Hold on, is it like messed up for us to call you Melon? Like, I've heard the nickname circulating. Is that like a messed up thing to call you? Because your hair's like green, and you mentioned, you know, literal prejudice related to that and melons are green. Is that like...
Oh. Huh.
It's a little messed up in its own way.
I guess... No one had really asked me anything like that before. I sort of was caught a bit off guard. I don't know. I've never heard anyone call me that before, but it kind of reminds me of other things people have called me I haven't liked.
Okay, so yeah, then that's definitely... No, I was just thinking, like, for us, it'd be like if somebody called me or Gartrinus, like, based on the blue of our hats, like Bloopy or something. It'd be messed up.
Huh. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. I don't know, it bothered me. I scratched the back of my head.
Do Galoin culture often use nicknames? It doesn't seem like I've heard them, just shortenings sometimes.
Shortenings. Yep, that's the big one. It's all about efficiency. It needs to be a name that you could call out fast. Percussive.
Well, I don't want to make it too hard for you, so how about Malin?
Oh,
It's close enough.
that's nice.
I'll accept a slip up from time to time.
I love her.
We will certainly do our best, Millen.
Yes, Malin.
Straga. I noticed he started approaching. Everyone else's back to turn. I suppose I just wanted to announce the presence, maybe because I still felt a tiny bit guilty.
Yeah.
We have a rope here if you want to climb up.
Yeah, I'm coming.
Okay.
Shame that cheese is moldy.
Yeah. Well, I guess. I keep forgetting I wouldn't really be able to taste it. You make me feel bad.
This is like my favorite, boomy food. I don't know how they make it.
With the mold?
Where do they grow the cheese?
They're...
Oh, it's super elaborate. We do
Yeah,
not have time to
some-
explain.
I felt a question boiling up in my mind. A part of me wanted to ask something, and I tried to push it back. But at the moment, I suppose I felt the comfort, and I just blurted out, "Do galoins make milk?"
Do you?
Yeah. Oh God. Oh God. Oh God. I'm sorry. It's milk. They make it out of milk. Other creatures' milk, not their milk.
Okay, thank you. I thought we were just eating boomy milk.
No. There's animals. It's dairy. That's what they call it.
I had the opportunity to go and delay this conversation for another time, and you just had to. I'm going to go home, and I'm going to go and have a large meal and say hello to everybody and argue about whether minerals are a condiment or a sauce, and then have a nice rest and not think about this.
Okay.
It's okay. You just took a blow to the brain. You can't be thinking straight after that.
Right. Yeah. I'm simply injured.
You might have permanent brain damage.
Yeah, that's it. It's my permanent brain damage. I think I've been made stupid.
I mean...
No way. Come on. I mean, how could you know? You know, you have to ask these questions. It's just the nature of it, you know?
No, it's fine. I think I'm just more comfortable thinking I'm stupid or maybe brain concussed. As I wished desperately for something to change the conversation, I ended up getting that wish. They always did say in a number of societies, in some way or form, to be careful what you wished for. Where I'd come from, it was simply, watch how you feel. The world is a way of making it happen. And as I turned over, I had noticed someone was moving around. They seemed to have a grim expression on their face, and quite frankly, I did not recognize them. They looked around in every which direction, checking the way, seeming to be almost blocked by the large fungal growths otherwise, as they stepped up next to the pillars, checked the way, and then turned on over. Everyone! You'd come up, and as she did, I noticed a somewhat similar potential lack of recognition for a moment.
Sorry, what happened?
She stopped, breathed for a second. Where do I... She took a breath, waited for a moment. I had wondered and kind of looked around for potentially a water canteen I had had, but again, it had been long lost at this point. I just spoke out loud, "Give her some water."
Oh,
She must have been running.
sure. I still have some in my flask.
She gulped it down rather quickly. I could see some sense restoring to her brain as she sort of stopped and turned around. The next words shifted just about everything. The Stroll have invaded. They're in the town right now.
They say it's been too long. It's so nice to see you. You're a good friend of mine. So long farewell at you. No, I can't believe, oh no, not words from thee, but said in facsimile, yearning for that distant we. So I'm searching for near eternity, but I don't know where I should be. Love of branch, no family tree, no friends I have to see. An unfriendly propensity is my natural state to take flight in perpetuity. And so echo back is only me, cut off from precious we.